Hi, Vamshi, and welcome to this conversation with OTTplay. This is, of course, our first conversation. So let's start with the basics. How are you today?
I'm doing very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm good too, and it's lovely speaking to you. In fact, I did catch the press conference, so I know a fair bit about the film now, which sort of helps. But even then, I'd like to know from you in about a week's time, your directorial debut is going to be out there for the whole world to see.
Mm.
It's also the first film from PRK after, Puneet's passing. So a lot of eyes are going to be on you, on your film. What's the feeling like right now?
Uh, Obviously, I'm nervous. I'm excited. Uh, uh, in terms of it being available across the planet, thanks so much to Amazon Prime Video for that. Um, it, it's great. I mean, I don't think any director can ask for more, right? I mean, your first film, and it's going to be seen by millions of people across the world. Um, and uh, just the association with Apu sir and PRK Productions. That was a fantastic experience, and uh, just immense gratitude to them for helping us. And hopefully put out a product that will make everyone proud, everyone associated with it.
Perfect. But also, Mamshi, I'd like you to also help our viewers understand your relationship with Danish a little more. He did mention during the press conference that you guys have been friends for a very long time. And if I'm not mistaken, you have writing credits on Humble Politician Nagraj. You're associated with his regular videos as well. Does it actually help that you guys have that absolute fantastic camaraderie already going on? Or is that also sometimes a hindrance because if you give him something, you know what he's going to come back with. So
no, so we've been very good friends for a long time now, and it only helps because if I were to give Danish something, he'll just take it and make it bigger. So it's great fun to work with him. Both of us are quite silly people ourselves, so we just have a lot of fun working together, and it just helps to work with someone like Danish.
Okay, that's very to the point. But I'd really like to understand the dynamic a little more, Vamshi, because that is what is going to reflect in the film, right? So you've been behind the camera all the while, pulling a lot of strings. Danish is in front of it, but it would really help people to understand you also a little bit, that this is where you are coming from.
Okay, so it's when Danish and I are working on a set, we worked on many ads together, we've done a lot of content together, and now this film, we almost work like two bodies, one brain. Like both of us pretty much are thinking on similar lines. And that's what I meant by, if I were to tell Danish something, just take it and make it bigger. And we don't have to explain too much to each other. Like if Danish were to look at me and go, do you think we should be shooting? And then I understand what he means and would already be like, okay, I got it. And if I were to tell him, you might want to play this, and he already got what I'm going to say, and he would like. So it's and like I said, we just have a lot of fun most often when we're working together. So yeah, hope that reflects on screen, because we had a lot of fun shooting this. Hope you have that much fun watching it.
Okay, perfect. But okay, so I've seen the trailer as well, and it's very clear what the premise is going to be. He's there. Sorry?
Did you like the trailer?
It looks a lot of fun. So I have to be honest here. I've caught Danish's earlier show as well, which I thought was too heavy on the English. And this was very, very refreshing. You say you're bringing a Kannada film, there is a lot of Kannada in it, at least in the trailer. So that looks very promising for the Kannada audience specifically. But also the premise is very clear in the trailer. He's there day one, and these guys come take the school hostage in red jumpsuits. How money heist was that?
I mean, it was. I mean, you actually have to watch the film to understand why they're doing what they're doing. It was just. We just went with it. We just thought it was fun. It was quirky. It was. See, these four terrorists are very silly, stupid people, right? They actually don't have too many original thoughts themselves. So the fact that they would be inspired by a money heist, just in terms of costume, that's exactly where the similarity ends. After that, there's nothing else to do with. There's no hat to money heist anywhere otherwise.
Perfect. But also this character now, the little that we've seen of him on social media has been of this bumbling fellow reviewing non-veg films. He's also trying to get married. And here you have a film that's been censored you. So looks like there's been some sort of a deliberate attempt to sanitize Gopi or...
No, so okay, so this is also something that Apu sir would always say. He said, when you make a film, it should be accessible to everyone from 6 to 60, right? In our case, it's because of the censor certificate, it's 13 to 60. Yeah. But it's always nice to have something that the whole family can sit together and watch. In those small videos, yes, Gopi reviews non-veg films, but in our film, he's asking for Andhra food, so it's which is veg meals. Yeah, but there was no deliberate attempt. The fact that you're putting Gopi in a school now, he's a teacher. The minute you're saying he's a teacher and you put him in a school with children, it would just be unwise to have any non-veg jokes. And yeah, we were also pleasantly surprised, and the censor board turned around and said, "This is brilliant. We'll give it a U certificate." And we're like, "Wow, well done." So that's about that.
Perfect. But also help me understand a little bit about the writing process, Vamshi, because Danish mentioned when it's a shorter video, it's all about the setup, punchline, and so on and so forth. But here you have to also weave in a story that is engaging from start to finish. You also have to make sure that your audience is having fun at the same time. So how was that process?
So when you watch this film, you'll understand that every character has a complete arc. Everybody has a motive. There's no one just loitering around there. And each one of them is strongly selfish and delusional. Like almost every character is that way in their own sweet or quirky ways. So when you have interesting characters and put them in an interesting situation, you get interesting content. So that was a lot of fun in writing the four terrorists. There's another journalist track that happens parallelly. Then there's the Gopi's love story that's happening parallelly, and then the whole situation of what's going to happen to the school. So there are many twists and turns in the story, and a lot of fun writing it. And the humor is not any of these people telling jokes. They're just so being themselves that it's funny for us to watch. Right. So that's something we attempted to do and hopefully succeeded.
Perfect. But I would also like to understand the casting process now with Mr. Prakash Balawadi. We've seen that if you let him loose, he can be quite right. You've also got George Indians beneath, but someone like a Sampath. Now, last evening itself, I saw a film where this man is just so scary. Yeah. And you've got him in a comedy. So I just want to understand why you chose certain actors to be part of this film.
Okay, so I watched Sampath sir on the sets of Kavladari. I play a dead body in Kavladari, so I was on the sets of Kavladari. I watched this man, and I honestly had goosebumps watching him live. And I promised myself that if I ever get a chance to make a film, I'll cast him. So when we were writing, I'm like, okay, let's have a slightly sinister role, which is still funny in itself. And the only name we had in our head was Sampath sir, and we reached out to him and said, "Can you please be a part of this film?" And he didn't even bat an eye. It is like, "Of course, when are we shooting?" And that's what happened with the entire cast. Our entire film, when we wrote it, for placeholders, we said, "Okay, let's imagine Belwadi sir is playing this. Let's imagine Samyukta is playing this. Let's imagine Veep is playing this." And after we wrote it, we went to them and said, "Hey, we have the story. Would you be interested?" All of them said yes. Like literally everyone said yes. So that's fantastic. Extremely happy that we could pull it off.
Perfect. But as I said, even though the trailer tells us exactly what the film is about, how would you describe One Cut, Two Cut?
It's a comedy drama. Lots of thrills, lots of twists and turns, lots of real humor. Everybody has real problems, which makes it quite funny. and it's a mad, silly film, and we just hope by the end of it you have a nice smile plastered on your face.
Perfect. Also, this is your first film as director. What's next for you?
Hopefully, people will entrust me with more projects. Fingers crossed. Danish and I are writing our next. Once we're done writing, we'll obviously approach production houses, and hopefully Amazon Prime Video will be kind enough to give us the platform once again.
Perfect. On a parting note, what's your message for viewers when the film comes out on Feb 3? What should they look out for?
First, please do subscribe to Amazon Prime Video if you still haven't. Watch the film on Feb 3rd. It's U certificate, so watch with the whole family. Have a good time, enjoy, laugh, maybe eat some popcorn when you're doing this. Have fun, that's it.
All right. Thank you so much for your time, Amshi. That's about all for now.
Thank you.
All the best for Feb 3rd.